Let me ask you a question. When you woke up this morning, was the very first thing you felt that familiar, unwelcome ache in your joints? Before you even opened your eyes, did that stiffness in your knees or that throb in your hands dictate what kind of day you were going to have? Did you find yourself wondering if you'd be able to enjoy a walk, work in the garden, or even just comfortably hold a cup of coffee? If you've ever felt like your arthritis pain is a cruel dictator running your life on its own unforgiving schedule, I want you to know that you are not alone. And if you've ever told yourself, well, this is just part of getting older, I'm here today to respectfully, and with the backing of some incredible science, challenge that idea. My name is, and today we're going to talk about something that your doctor, in a busy 15-minute appointment, might not have had the time to fully explain. We're going to pull back the curtain on the surprising and powerful connection between your brain and the arthritis pain you feel every day. And I'm going to guide you through a simple 2-minute technique. I call it the Signal Scrambler, that is designed to help you reclaim a sense of control over that pain. Now, I can already hear what some of you might be thinking. A 2-minute technique to help with arthritis pain? It sounds like clickbait. It sounds too good to be true, and I want to address that head-on. This is not a cure for arthritis. Arthritis, as the Mayo Clinic clearly defines it, is a very real physical condition involving inflammation and the wearing down of cartilage in your joints. Your pain is not imaginary. It is not all in your head, in the way that phrase is so often used to dismiss and invalidate people. In fact, research shows that over a third of patients whose pain involves the mechanism we'll discuss today report being told by a doctor that their symptoms are somehow imagined. That experience is frustrating, it's angering, and it's just plain wrong. So let's be perfectly clear. This video is not about pretending the pain doesn't exist. It's about understanding the science of how your brain processes the pain signals coming from your joints. It's about learning that you have a bit more influence over the volume of that pain than you may have ever been told. What we'll be discussing is based on established principles of neuroscience and pain management, drawing on insights from institutions like Johns Hopkins Medicine and the Arthritis Foundation. We will explore why two people with the exact same X-ray can feel drastically different levels of pain. We will unpack the science behind how our nervous system can sometimes get its wires crossed and turn up the pain far beyond what's necessary. And most importantly, I will walk you through, step by step, that 2-minute Signal Scrambler technique, a mental exercise you can use anytime, anywhere, to help quiet that alarm. This is about adding a powerful, science-backed tool to your pain management toolkit. And a quick but important reminder, I am not a doctor, and this video is not a substitute for professional medical advice. The goal here is to provide education and empower you with information to discuss with your healthcare provider. Always consult with your doctor before making any changes to your pain management plan. This information is meant to complement, not replace, their expert guidance. So let's begin this journey. Let's start by validating what you already know deep in your bones. The pain is real, and it starts in the joint. Whether it's osteoarthritis from a lifetime of use or rheumatoid arthritis, an autoimmune condition, the process begins with physical changes. Cartilage thins, inflammation occurs, and nerves in that area become sensitized. They send out warning signals. Think of them like tiny messengers running from your knee or your hip or your knuckles, all the way up your spinal cord to a master control center, your brain. This is a crucial protective mechanism. If you touch a hot stove, you want that signal to be fast and loud. It tells you to pull your hand away to prevent further damage. The initial pain from arthritis works similarly. It's a warning system. But for so many people living with chronic arthritis pain, something else starts to happen over time. The warning system goes haywire. It's no longer just a simple message from point A, the joint, to point B, the brain. The system itself becomes part of the problem, and this is where our understanding needs to expand beyond just the joint itself. If the pain starts in the body, why is it that on some days the pain is a manageable whisper, and on other days it's a deafening roar? Why can stress, a bad night's sleep, or even just a gloomy rainy day make everything feel so much worse? The answer lies in the control center. It lies in how the brain decides to interpret and broadcast those signals. This brings us to a concept that is absolutely fundamental to understanding chronic pain, and it's called central sensitization. It sounds complicated, but the idea behind it is actually quite simple. I want you to imagine that your nervous system has a volume control dial for pain. When you first sprain your ankle, that dial gets turned up appropriately. It makes you limp, it makes you rest. It protects the joint so it can heal. Then, as it heals, a healthy nervous system gradually turns that volume dial back down to its normal setting. With central sensitization, which is incredibly common in chronic conditions like arthritis, that volume dial gets stuck. It's as if the dial has been turned all the way up to 10, and the knob has broken off. The brain and spinal cord become so accustomed to receiving pain signals that they become hyper-reactive. They learn to be in pain. They start to amplify the signals they receive from your arthritic joints, making them feel much more intense than they otherwise would. Even more than that, the brain can become so sensitive that it starts to interpret normal sensations, like the pressure of a blanket, a change in weather, or a gentle touch, as painful. The alarm system is now so sensitive that it's going off for things that aren't a real threat. It's like a car alarm that shrieks every time a leaf falls on the windshield. The car isn't being stolen, but the alarm is real, and it's incredibly disruptive. This, right here, is why the Arthritis Foundation emphasizes understanding the connection between pain and the brain. It's not that the problem in your joint is gone. The problem is that your brain has learned to shout about it 24 hours a day. This explains one of the biggest mysteries in arthritis care, the poor link between X-rays and pain. You may have experienced this yourself. You get an X-ray, and the doctor says, well, there's some mild arthritis there, but you're feeling debilitating pain. Or the opposite happens. Someone else has an X-ray that looks absolutely terrible, like bone on bone, yet they report only minimal discomfort. This isn't because one person is tougher or the other is weaker. It's often because their nervous systems are calibrated differently. One person's volume dial is set at a 2, while the other's is stuck at a 9. Your experience of pain, the one you live with day in and day out, is a combination of the signal from your joint and the volume at which your brain is choosing to play it. And this is not a conscious choice. It is a learned physiological response. But the incredible news, the entire reason we are here today, is that what has been learned can be, with practice, unlearned. This is where the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, offers so much hope. This is where we take back some control. We can't magically regrow cartilage with our minds, but we can learn to send new, different information to the brain that helps it turn down that faulty volume dial. Think of it this way. If your brain's pain pathway is like a deeply rutted, well-traveled road that it goes down automatically, our goal is to consciously build a new, smoother, more pleasant road right next to it. The Signal Scrambler is a mental exercise designed to intentionally flood your brain with non-painful sensory information. It works by competing for your brain's attention. Your brain can only focus on so many things at once. When you are consumed by pain, that pain signal is the loudest thing in the room, demanding all the attention. The signal scrambler technique is like turning on a beautiful piece of music in that same room. It doesn't instantly erase the loud noise, but it gives your brain something else, something more pleasant to focus on. It interrupts the runaway feedback loop of pain, attention, more attention. It scrambles the signal, even just for a moment, and in that moment, you create a tiny bit of space. With practice, that space can grow. This is a form of what scientists call neuromodulation, actively influencing your own nerve pathways. So are you ready to try it? I invite you to find a comfortable position, either sitting in your chair or lying down. You don't need to do anything special. Just allow yourself to be settled for the next couple of minutes. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or you can simply lower your gaze. Let's begin. First, I want you to take a slow, gentle breath in and a long, slow breath out. You don't need to force it. Just allow your breathing to be a gentle anchor in this present moment. Now, I want you to bring your awareness to a part of your body that does not hurt right now. It could be anything. Perhaps it's your left earlobe. Maybe it's the tip of your nose. It could be your right big toe. Just choose one small, neutral spot. For the next 30 seconds or so, I want you to place all of your focus, all of your gentle curiosity on that one spot. Don't judge it. Don't try to change it. Just notice. Notice the simple sensation of the air on your skin in that spot. Is it cool? Is it warm? Can you feel the texture of your clothing resting against it? Can you feel a subtle pulse or a tingle of aliveness there? Be a detective of sensation. This simple act is already sending a stream of non-painful, neutral sensory information up to your brain. You're actively giving your brain a different signal to process. Excellent. Now for the next part, we're going to layer on another signal. I want you to call to mind a vivid, pleasant sensory memory. It needs to be something with rich detail. For example, can you remember the feeling of sitting on a sunny porch with a gentle breeze on your face and the warmth of the sun on your forearms? Can you truly recall that feeling? Feel the warmth seeping into your skin. Feel the light touch of the breeze. Or perhaps you can remember the feeling of your hands submerged in a sink of warm, soapy water. Remember the comforting heat, the slippery smoothness of the bubbles, the gentle pressure of the water all around your hands. Choose one such memory. And for the next minute, I want you to live inside that memory with all of your senses. If it's the sunny porch, what can you smell? The scent of freshly cut grass or blooming flowers? What can you hear? The distant chirping of birds, the rustle of leaves? What can you feel? The solidness of the chair beneath you, the warmth on your skin. Immerse yourself in the physical sensations of this pleasant memory. Your only job right now is to experience this memory as fully as you can. You are now sending a powerful wave of pleasant, complex sensory information to your brain, competing directly with the pain signals for attention and resources. You are actively scrambling the old, stuck signal. Stay with that pleasant sensation for just a few more moments. And now, when you're ready, you can gently let go of that image. Take one more slow breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly bring your awareness back to the room around you. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. How do you feel? You might notice a small shift. Maybe the pain feels a little more distant, a little less sharp. Maybe you just feel a bit calmer. Or maybe you don't feel much different at all, and that is perfectly okay. Because what I need you to understand is that this is not a magic trick. This is a skill. And like any skill, learning to play the piano, learning to garden, learning to knit, it requires practice. The first time you try this, it might feel awkward. Your mind might wander. The pain might still feel overwhelming. But every single time you intentionally shift your focus away from the pain and onto a neutral or pleasant sensation, you're casting a vote for a new neural pathway. You are carving out that new, smoother road for your brain to travel down. You are literally exercising the parts of your brain responsible for focus and sensory processing, making them stronger. Researchers studying neuroplasticity and pain at institutions like Health Partners in Minnesota have shown that consistent mental practice can create real, physical changes in the brain's structure and function. So the key is not to do this once and decide if it worked. The key is to commit to practicing it. Maybe once a day, maybe every time you feel a flare-up starting. See it as a 2-minute investment in retraining your brain's volume control. It's a tool of empowerment, a way of actively participating in your own well-being. Now there's one more crucial piece to this puzzle. If central sensitization is the volume dial being stuck on high, then our emotional state is often the hand that cranks it up in the first place. Think about it. When you're stressed, anxious, or feeling down, doesn't the pain seem to bite harder? There's a clear biological reason for this. When we experience stress, fear, or sadness, our body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These are part of our fight or flight response, and one of their jobs is to make our entire system more alert and sensitive to potential threats, and that includes pain. So, stress and negative emotions don't cause your arthritis, but they can absolutely pour gasoline on the fire of central sensitization. They turn the volume dial from a 7 all the way up to a 10. The statistics on this are staggering. Johns Hopkins medicine reports that people with arthritis who also struggle with depression are 3 to 4 times more likely to develop chronic, disabling pain than those who don't. This isn't a judgment. It's a biological reality. The circuits for physical pain and emotional pain overlap significantly in the brain. Furthermore, in a large survey of people living with chronic pain, the impact on life is profound. More than 3/4 reported a major decline in their concentration and energy levels, and nearly 2/3 felt an overall decrease in their enjoyment of life. It becomes a vicious cycle. The pain causes distress, and the distress makes the pain worse. But just as negative emotions can turn the volume up, positive emotions and relaxation can help turn it down. This is why practices that calm the nervous system, like the signal Scrambler technique we just did, or deep breathing, or listening to calming music, or spending time in nature, are not just nice to do. They are essential components of a modern, comprehensive pain management plan. They actively counteract the stress response and help reset that volume dial to a more manageable level. It's about creating a state in your body and mind that is less fertile ground for pain to flourish. So, where do we go from here? We've covered a lot of ground today. We've established that your arthritis pain is absolutely real and physical. We've uncovered the hidden role your brain plays with its pain volume control and how it can get stuck on high through a process called central sensitization. And you now have a tangible 2-minute signal scrambler technique that you can use as a tool to begin retraining that system, a skill that gets stronger with practice. The most important takeaway from all of this is a message of empowerment. For so long, you may have felt that pain was something happening to you, something completely outside of your control. I hope today you can begin to see that you have more influence than you thought. You have the power to work with your brain, to calm your nervous system, and to gently turn down the volume on your pain. Your next step is to take this knowledge and build upon it. I strongly encourage you to talk to your doctor. You can now go into your next appointment with a new vocabulary. You can ask them, could central sensitization be playing a role in my pain? You can tell them, I'm interested in a comprehensive pain management plan that addresses not just my joints, but also the way my nervous system is processing pain. This technique is one piece of a larger puzzle. A full plan might also include physical therapy, appropriate medication, nutrition, and other mind-body strategies. The Arthritis Foundation is an excellent resource for learning more about building a holistic pain management plan. You have lived with this pain. You have felt the frustration of being misunderstood. You have feared for your future independence. But you have also taken the time today to learn, to understand, and to seek out new solutions. That is a powerful act of self-advocacy. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which part of this discussion was the biggest aha moment for you? Was it the idea of the pain volume dial? Or the fact that X-rays don't tell the whole story? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story and your insights can be a great source of comfort and encouragement for others on this same journey. If you found this deep dive helpful and want to learn more about taking control of your health in your best years, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that little notification bell so you won't miss our future videos. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember that you are more than your diagnosis. You have strength, you have resilience, and now you have a new tool to add to your arsenal. Be well, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.